All right, guys. So we've given it 10 minutes anyway, so we'll crack on with this training then. So let me share my screen. So yeah, this session then it's all about short form video, which a lot of people are getting a lot of success from, including you, Jenny. So I'm glad you're on this call because you'll be able to give your perspective on things as well, because you're doing better than myself on this. I've only just picked it up within the past probably about 6 months, but yeah, it's really worth jumping on it right now because it is the algorithms are giving a lot of preference to this kind of content. So what we're going to cover over this sesh then is a bit of an overview, just to dig a bit deeper into what we've mentioned as to why it's so valuable to jump onto right now. Some content ideas about what to structure it around, what to cover in the subject of the videos. The structure, so again, it pays to have a strategic way of putting it together. So we'll cover that. Actually recording it, and then what to do after you've recorded it. So the stuff that I'll teach you today is not, well, there's different ways of doing it, but this is the way that I've done it, and this is the way that I've got success from it. And this is the whole premise of what we do on this course is it's called New Age Advisor. So it's all about just being effective with your time, really. So this stuff that I'm going to show you today is just a quick way of doing it. You can do it in other ways to include more like production to make it look really good and really polished, and add like things like B-roll to it and like music in the background and stuff, and have a full setup with a tripod doing it and a light, which you can do. But this stuff I'm going to teach you just as how I do it, and it's just fast and it's effective and it just gets it out there. It might not be perfect, but it's done, which is the whole premise of what we're doing. This program is just to get stuff out there, and if it's not perfect, it doesn't need to be, as long as it's out there and it's done. Yeah, just going back to the overview then. So like I said before, in terms of why it's so good now is because TikTok started taking this kind of short form video content. They were the first ones to really do it and really hit the ground running with it, really, because that got a lot of attention. I think in lockdown, wasn't it, really, that TikTok really kicked off. But it's this short form, because people's attention spans these days are just getting less and less as the time goes on. And so TikTok is the perfect, when that came around, because it's like a minute. This is reels, all this content that we're talking about, the short form, it's less than a minute in duration. So it's quick and it's to the point. And like I say, TikTok really has taken a lot of eyeballs away from Facebook and Instagram over the past, like I say, COVID really, in lockdown, a lot of people went over to TikTok from these little platforms. So these other platforms, Instagram and Facebook, are playing catch up. So they've employed that same kind of structure, that same concept in terms of the short form content, but they're really giving a lot of priority to those videos in their algorithms. So the views that people are getting on this kind of content is a hell of a lot more than what you'd ever got on anything else in terms of social media other than paying for it. Like Jenny will tell you, you've got like literally millions of views on your stuff, haven't you? Which,
yeah,
there's no way anyone would be able to get that kind of amount of views without paying for it before these algorithms are really giving priority to this kind of content. So it's really worth jumping on now, because it won't last forever, this trend, if you like. Obviously they tweak the algorithms and stuff. That could happen in 6 months, could happen in a year, it could happen in 2 years, it could happen in 5, but you don't know. So the chances are that it will change in like closer than in 5 years. But that's why it's worth jumping on now and just taking advantage while it's in this stage at the moment. And if you're doing, guys, if anyone on the call or anybody watching this back is doing videos that aren't reels, what I'd suggest is just stop doing that and just formatting it into a reel, because the views that you're getting on that normal content, if you're just posting the video stuff into the normal feeds, just repositioning that into this format is just going to get you a hell of a lot more views and a lot more leads and a lot more sales. So that's the whole point of what we're posting this stuff for, is to get appointments and deals done. So other than the exception is YouTube. Obviously, YouTube long form is still amazing. So if you're producing long form video for YouTube, still keep doing that. But what you can also do is, obviously, with the format of this kind of video, you can use that for YouTube Shorts, and you can direct people from your YouTube Shorts or your Reels to your main kind of channel on YouTube to your long form content. Just give a teaser of what you're covering in the main video, and kind of point people to the main video from your shorts. So there's a few requirements then for a short form content. So it's under a minute, so it's quick, it's snappy. You need to obviously get what you're saying out within that 59 seconds, really. So it's vertical, so obviously it's that. So it's rectangular, like a phone, and a kind of requirement is that we need to have subtitles on it and a title. So subtitles are essential, because there's about 80% of people who watch content online that do it muted, so without the sound. So if you're missing out the subtitles, the captions, you're going to lose a massive chunk of your potential audience by not having the subtitles in there. So that's a must, really. And having a title on there as well. Just, again, it's a headline, like in copywriting, in newspapers, in whatever media that people are consuming, you need to have a headline to pull people in. So yeah, those are the kind of main constituent parts of a short form video content. So a good thing about this kind of content as well is that it can be cross-posted or cross-purposed across different platforms. So Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikToks, and YouTube Shorts. So they all use that same dimensions, which is, it's like 9:16, call it, which, like I say, the long kind of vertical rectangle. But yeah, so it's beautiful in that sense. Again, going back to the whole premise of what we do is to make things time effective. So that is very time effective. You can shoot it once, and then that can be cross-posted across multiple platforms within, and it just doesn't take you long to post it across those platforms. So it's very time efficient in that sense. So again, this is personal, but I've found the best results have come from posting it through my personal profiles rather than business profiles. You can obviously post them on your business profiles as well. Again, it doesn't take much effort to post them on your business profiles. But Jenny, just while you're there, like I say, you're doing really well with your reels. What do you do it from your business and your personal, or just?
Yeah, no. So my process is I have a business Facebook page, and then is it professional in Instagram? That's what they call it, isn't it? Yeah. And then a personal. So I will create it in Instagram, which then automatically uploads it to my business page, and then I will post it on directly. I won't share it. I post it directly onto my personal page, and it's my personal page which probably 90% of my leads come through, rather than my business page.
Yeah.
Or my Instagram has really started to come up a little bit more now, but it is definitely my personal page where I get more hits.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that makes sense with what I'm getting as well. And again, it does make sense for me, because the way that I do it and the way we teach in this program is to build your personal profile up with the right audience that are going to be receptive to the content that you're posting and the videos that you're posting. So obviously my audience is you guys, mortgage brokers. So on my personal profile on Facebook, it's probably about 80% brokers and financial service firms. Yeah, so like I said, that's generally, from what I've found so far, is better to prioritize at least your Facebook, your personal profile.
Sorry, Dan, I think as well, because I think some people think when they go to a business page, they're almost expected to be sold to. So they're already got their heckles up going, oh, they're just putting that on there because they want me to buy or they want me to do something. Whereas when it's your personal, you've sidelined them a bit because they're not thinking like that.
Because we buy from people, don't we? Yeah. Everything we do, whether we're buying, selling, consuming, it's all about experiences between people. So if we can put an actual person behind that thing, it's somebody who they're relatable with or to, then already they're further down the line, aren't they? Closer to potentially buying something.
Exactly. it's connection, isn't it? Human beings need connection when we're doing any business transaction, but specifically in financial services, when it's probably the biggest financial commitment someone's going to make, they need to feel that connection and the trust, which is what you get from personal side of things. That's why in this program we do everything pretty much through the personal profiles. Like for me, I wouldn't, even with my Facebook page, my business page, I don't do much with that at all these days. It's just to run ads from. Everything else I do from my personal for that reason. But yeah, so like I said before, it's 59 seconds. So it's all about being snappy and getting straight to the point and getting that information that you need to get out in that short period of time, 59 seconds to be exact.
Do you know, Dan, sorry to interrupt you. Do you know what I find? And it might just be pure and utter bloody luck, but 34 seconds always gives me the magic number.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. The ones that hit like 1 million views or 60,000 views, they're 34 seconds long or there or thereabouts. It's really bizarre. And I don't know if that's just pure luck.
It can't be if it's happened multiple times then.
Yeah.
It must be some method in the madness.
I don't know if it's just people can listen that long and after that they're bored.
It'll be concentration span, it'll be attention span, it'll be... Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's one of those things that time's getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like when I heard Dan, when you were talking about TikTok earlier, when TikTok first came out, probably how long TikTok now? 3 years ago?
Years?
Yeah, 4 years ago. When it first came out, I worked in a shared office space with a bunch of techie guys who did computer programming. They're like, oh yeah, there's this new app, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. The TikTok is designed for people with my brain. And by that, literally, I just find myself like that. Just consumed. The exact amount of time, the way it worked was just designed for my brain, to the point where I had to take off my phone. And I only just recently put TikTok back on my phone, because the amount of time that I could find myself wasting when I had it previously, it was just mental.
Yeah.
Just because they got it right with that concentration span.
Yeah. Which is what, like I say, what all these other platforms are playing catch up with, and they've realised that is the way that human brains are. It's not just you, Ross, it's the general population of human beings our attention span over the years, and that is reducing it even further. Like I say, that 34 seconds, Jenny, probably in 2 years' time, we'll be talking about 15 seconds, and then what after that? So then we'll have to get it all out in 10 seconds, then we'll have to put like the speed up by like 90% or something just to get it out. But yeah, the structure then, I think, the content ideas. So this is a barrier that I think a lot of people come to in terms of creating content, because the other thing that I've not mentioned as well, which is key, is to be consistent with the videos that you're posting, I think, because then when you are consistent and you're posting regularly, the algorithms get to pick up what you're posting and who is best to serve that content to. So if you are sporadic about it and you're not consistent and you're just posting every week or probably every week or every 2 weeks.
How often would you do it, Dan?
Say again,
how often should you do it, do you think?
I'd say at least 3 times a week, but yeah, that's 2, maybe 2 at least, 3 or 4 maybe better, but at least 2 a week.
How many do you do, Jenny? Because I'm on my Facebook now, and they are honestly they're short and sweet, and they are good.
Every day, every Monday to Friday.
Yeah. Where do you get your script from?
I don't. I just put the camera in front of me and think about what I've done in the week, and then I just start talking. I don't write it. I used to write loads of scripts, but it works for some. It just didn't work for me. I was really robotic. But what I have started to do, because I'm just so bloody busy, is on a Sunday night, I pull out 5 T-shirts, put them on the desk and just record. Yeah. And then I'm done within 20 minutes, and that's me all sorted for the week.
Yeah.
And then if something new comes up, then I might do one ad hoc during the day. But I have started to go to a Sunday night, just literally half hour, 5 T-shirts, keep swapping the T-shirt. And you will see by the hair being in the same position if you look really closely. Or the spot in the same position. You'll see that they're all recorded at the same time. And I found that's really helped me. But it only takes me now I've been doing it for so long, literally half hour, 40 minutes to do all of them.
Yeah.
The longest thing is writing the words that come with it.
What do you mean?
So, you know, like, no,
Just
so
the description.
That's it. Yeah, that's the hardest bit,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
rather than actually filming it now.
But
That's
not to scare you off, Dave, into thinking you've got to do it every day. You didn't start like that, did you, Jenny?
No,
Jenny was the epitome of somebody who was petrified to do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So you're now there after what, a year of doing it, probably a bit
Yeah.
longer. But to begin with, it's just getting in front of the camera, just getting in front of the camera and doing it. And you'll hate it. You think you sound terrible. You'll give yourself such a hard time. In the nicest way possible, nobody cares. And I don't mean that horribly, but nobody cares. I think people wake up in the morning and want to know what Ross is doing in the bin, and they're all going to tune in to see me on Instagram, but they're not. All right. And we create the story that means it's got to be perfect. It's really not about that. It's about just getting comfortable being in front of the camera. Jenny said she used to have scripts, and then it came more natural. And then you'll find a way that fits for you, whether it's like walking the dog, whether it's in a certain room, or just somewhere where you feel comfortable. Just get into the habit of recording and putting out and forgetting about it. Literally just get into that habit of doing it. So maybe it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or it's just a Monday and a Friday, or whatever it might be. Just get into the habit, and it's the consistency that actually proves, sort of the proof's in the pudding when you're consistent with it.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I thought loads of my mates would comment and take the piss, and they did for a week, and then it's like, oh, but now.
Yeah.
Don't
literally.
even, it's
Get
just,
fed up.
done. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you don't even get attention that way. If I'm honest, they get bored soon.
Yeah. That's it. But yeah, like I say, the key is to be consistent. If you're posting 3 a week, happy days. If you're posting 1 a week to start with, happy days. Just be consistent and build that up. And if you can get to 1 a day, then obviously that's the ideal. But yeah, I'd say at least 2 or 3 a week to answer your question on that. But yeah, in terms of the ideas of content, like Jenny says, it's not about, you don't have to think up ideas for content. It's just about what you're doing, documenting problems that you're solving for your clients. That's all, like the stuff that I've posted. And it's in that way, again, going back to what Jenny said about scripting stuff out. I think when you script things out and you've got it word for word there and you're reading a script, it's very robotic and very unorganic, and it just comes off like you're reading a script, which doesn't get that connection with people. You can do bullet points, definitely helps. Just that bullet point in the main things that you're going to cover, just to remind yourself of what it is that you're covering. But yeah, other than that, like I say, because it's stuff that you're doing, like I say, problems that you've helped people overcome that you're dealing with in that past week or the past month, or testimonials, like how you've helped clients. And the way that I've always structured testimonials as well is like just showing like where they were before they started working with you and what the transition was, how they've experienced working with you, and then the outcome of where they are now. So people see themselves in those kind of stories and they think, yeah, that's me. I'm in that undesired situation where this person was that this guy's helped with, and they just resonate with that and they think, yeah, that's where I want to be. So when you structure it in that way, it's really beneficial to do that. And so yeah, testimonials work really well. So even like posts that you've done in the past that have worked really well. So don't reinvent the wheel. So it's all about just stuff that's worked in the past, or if you've ran ads in the past. That's again how I've used I got a lot of ideas for my content, like ads that I've done in the past that have worked really well. So that's tried and tested. So that stuff works. Yeah, and also seeing what your competitors are doing, who are doing well on video, and just putting your kind of twist on what they're doing, because obviously that it's working if somebody else is getting success from it. And it's just about, that's a lot of the content in like copywriting and stuff, all this kind of frameworks and stuff. It's not, everybody's not thought it up. It's stuff that other people have done, but we're just leaning into that. It's not unethical to do that. It's just putting your own twist on what is already working in the market. Yeah, that's just some ideas. Like I said, it's not about having to think up content. I don't think it's just about what you're dealing with and what problems are happening in the market. So in terms of the structure then, so how to structure it, this is the best in terms of any content really, but specifically for this kind of content, video content, is to structure it in this way. So this is called PASS. We've covered this in the past, I think. But yeah, so it's all about PASS stands for P for problem, A for agitate, so agitating the problem, and S for solution, so offering a solution. So P is the biggest problem that's going on in that market at the moment. So an example of that for me would be, obviously, you guys in my market, mortgage brokers, financial service firms, and your kind of biggest pain point is getting customers, getting leads. So an example of what that would be for me, that problem would be in the first kind of part of the video, I'd say, did you know that the number one skill in 2023 for mortgage brokers is the ability to get more customers? Ticking two boxes, it's calling out my ideal client and it's calling out that main pain point of what you guys have. So if I put that out and a mortgage broker reads that, initially when they hear the word mortgage broker, it's going to get their attention, one. And when they hear the main kind of problem, the main pain point, getting customers, that's really going to get their attention again. So they're going to continue consuming that content. So that's the most important part, the kind of pain, the problem. So that's ultimately what people are. Is it subconscious or is it conscious? I don't know, but it's psychological that people will move away from pain. We're a lot more motivated to move away from pain than we are to go towards pleasure. So it's like a human instinct from like survival times where, like I say, if we're running away from a lion, you want to do that a lot quicker than you would go towards a bit of food because your life's involved in it. So it's a survival kind of instinct. So people naturally as humans will always move away or be motivated more by pain than pleasure. And yeah, so that's all about calling out your ideal client and including the main kind of number one problem that we've got. So another example would be to make a promise. It could be like one of the main strategies, which we'll cover in a minute, for me, and the way I do it is to push people to my funnel. So one of my kind of the way that I could structure it would be that I'd like to tell you about a system that you can use to get clients 24/7 on autopilot as a mortgage broker. So again, it's ticking those two boxes in terms of getting the mortgage broker in there, which is my ideal client, calling them out, and the main pain point, getting clients 24/7. That's going to get their attention. So another example would be to tell a very short story or educate. So again, this is just going back to the past experiences of what you've been dealing with. So I could say, I spoke to a mortgage broker yesterday who wastes 4 hours a week, every week, on attending networking events. So again, if a mortgage broker sees that and they're going to network events, they're going to think, oh, what's this all about? And then I'll obviously go into how digital marketing can put you in front of thousands of your ideal client every day without you having the need to go to networking events. Again, tell them about your funnel. Say if you've got a funnel, it's a good strategy to push people to that funnel from the traffic that you're generating from these videos. So an example of that would be, I'd like to tell you about a free no-cost training I'm offering, and including the desire and why that market needs this training. Regularly include a CTA. So again, I think having a strategy with this pays, because especially with a lot of people on TikTok are getting, a lot of brokers that I've spoken to, they're getting thousands and thousands of views, but it's not really materializing into anything in terms of appointments and sales. So it's just, if you've not got a strategy, it can just be a kind of futile exercise, because all these views are just, yeah, it looks really good on paper because you're getting all these views, but it's not materializing into anything substantial in terms of appointments and sales. So having a strategy, I think, is essential part of the equation. So like I say, the way I've done it, the main strategy for me is to either push people to my funnel or to push people to my YouTube channel, where they'll consume my longer form content and get, again, that is like a funnel, because we've got them with the short form and then getting them a bit interested and then funnel them into the longer form stuff that's on YouTube. Or if you've got a funnel, obviously that does a hell of a lot in terms of qualifying them, pre-qualifying them, building the trust, building the rapport, getting them onto an email database. And we can obviously send them newsletters through that email database. And if you've not got a funnel or YouTube, then Facebook group is perfect to push people to, and to build everything that we do really online is all about building up an audience of your ideal client. And a Facebook group is perfect to do that, where you can put yourself in front of on a consistent basis and build those connections. Or another example of a CTA, which is obviously different levels of when I say CTA, it's a call to action. So good. See, like I said, there's different levels. There's more aggressive CTAs, or there's softer approaches. And the softest one, which still is a valid one, is just to ask people to comment on the video, because the comments are really heavy in the weightings on the algorithms. You get different like weightings of columns, so it doesn't really, it's not valued much in the algorithms. But a comment is where somebody's actually, it's showing the algorithm that somebody cares about this content, and then their thought into it and putting a bit of time into commenting on it. So when you get comments, that really just expedites the reach of that post. So if you get loads of comments on your post, that's the gold.
I don't know if it makes a difference or if I'm just kidding myself. I always put a comment, but my comment is my link to my discovery call, my Calendly, and also my link to my credit file check. And that's a comment on every single one to try and spur others. I don't know if I'm kidding myself if that works, but that's what I do.
Yeah, it should do. On Facebook and Instagram, I don't know if you do it on LinkedIn.
No, I should do LinkedIn because it's all bloody limited company directors I'm getting at the moment. So I really should. And I should go back. I used to be really good at putting it on my YouTube channel and putting it on TikTok. And now literally I don't. And I know, listening to you, I'm thinking, that's going to be a task I need to set myself.
Yeah, it doesn't take much more time to do it. But the thing that made me think about LinkedIn is when you post something on LinkedIn and then you comment on your own post, that actually devalues the post on LinkedIn.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. I don't think it does on Facebook and Instagram, but it definitely does on LinkedIn. So if you do it on LinkedIn, just don't comment. It's after the first 10 minutes. You can do it after 10 minutes, actually.
Okay.
But if you do it straight away, it actually devalues it.
I'll have a bit of a play with that then. I'll leave it and see. Put it on it later.
Yeah, so that is just that's just LinkedIn now. But yeah, but even though it'd be worth posting it on LinkedIn, but I think with LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is different beast to Facebook and Instagram in terms of the algorithm, it is very different. And even posting your link in the main body, the post is apparently more beneficial than putting it as a comment.
Okay.
That's LinkedIn, but like I say, LinkedIn is different, very different algorithm to Facebook and Insta. Yeah, so recording it then, like I said before, there's different ways of doing it, but this is the way that I've found to be the most efficient, really, and the most time efficient and energy efficient, really, is just to record it in Instagram directly into the app. And then you can actually save it. Once you've recorded it in Instagram, you can save it onto your phone, and then it can be posted into the other platform. So the reason why I like to do it in Instagram is for a couple of reasons. One is that you can stop and start recording. So you press your thumb on it, record a line, and you can just take your thumb off and then just reevaluate and just get ready for your next line. And it's that benefit, and that you can reset and concentrate on the next line so you're ready to deliver that. But the other advantage is it cuts out all the gaps normally when you're talking. And if you did it in one, there'd be little gaps between each sentence, but it just cuts them all out. So with it being 59 seconds, it makes it more efficient in that sense. And it's obviously, from the consumer side of things, when somebody's watching that, it's just all flows. It's just, rather than having those gaps, which, like I say, it just keeps people's attention more when there's no gaps in there. So that's one of the reasons. But the other one is the captions in Instagram. It'll automatically turn your voice into the captions. And that is really accurate. So I've tested a load of paid services where you have to your video in and it'll transcribe it into captions. And even then, you have to go in and edit bits to make sure that the words are actually right in terms of what you've said and what they've got. But Instagram just does it to a T. It's really accurate. So they're the reasons why it's beneficial just to do it all within Instagram. Where we're up to. Yeah, and another thing to do when you are actually recording it is to keep if you're looking at that, your head for me needs to be like around there, around the top, but not right at the top, because we want to keep a big portion at the bottom for the captions. So that wants to be like your torso area, and then your head wants to be, like I say, around the top, but not right at the top, because we need to get the title at the top. So you need a little bit of space for the title at the top, and then your head there, and then the rest left space for the captions. So equipment-wise, it is worth getting a mic, I think. Do you use a mic, Jenny, for yours? You on mute? Still on mute, Jenny?
Sorry, yeah, no, I don't. I have my phone and then a second-hand buy it and sell it special tripod light mirror thing. That's it.
Yeah. No mic. Got one for 20 quid off Amazon, so I think it's worth getting a mic, if anything, because I think the sound quality is the most important aspect of video, because people, even more important than the actual kind of visual, because people just, when they hear horrible sound, people will just not get invested and not give it their attention. I think it's worth just getting a cheap 20 quid one, like a lapel one, like this is one I'm using at the minute. 20 quid off Amazon, and make sure you've got plenty of light on your face, natural light. Like you say, Jenny, you use a ring light, did you say?
Yeah, but I never switch it on. I just use it as a tripod. I'm shocking, aren't I, Dad? I'm ruining everything.
Yeah. But it works out.
Look, Ross has got one.
Ross has got one.
It's my halo.
Yeah. But yeah, just getting, if you've not got a light, and they're not expensive, are they? I think you could get them for like 10 or something.
Yeah.
But as long as you've got light in there, natural light, like I say, again, we're just going for done and not perfect. But we've got light, natural light coming in. Jobs are good. And even I've found as well, moving around an interesting room, or if you're in an interesting environment, like out somewhere in the countryside, just keeps people's attention, I think, rather than a static background, because people are just, again, they're inquisitive, people are nosy and they want to see what you're doing, or see if you're in somewhere light that's going to be interesting to people. It's worth having a play with that kind of stuff and seeing what kind of reception you're getting. If you're getting more views from that kind of stuff, then again, everything that we do in digital marketing is about testing different things and trying different things out and seeing what works and what doesn't. So I'm just going to show you a quick video now that I recorded earlier, just to show you the actual recording, how to do it. So let me just pull this video up. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah.
You can see that?
So you can, we do it all within the
I can't see that.
We can't see the video though.
We can
Can't
hear
see the
it.
video.
Yeah.
in the middle at the bottom.
All right, just like, see it now?
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just start again.
So obviously we do it all within the Instagram app. So you open the Instagram app, and then in the middle at the bottom there, that's the Reels. Sorry, no. Yeah, sorry, you do. And then you press at the top is the camera icon. So you press that, and then obviously you'd record your video, but first you need to change where it says 15, you change that to 60. So it's a 60-second reel, and then you record your video. So to record, I found the best way to do it is just to say a line and then stop recording, and then say the next line. Obviously, start recording again when saying the next line. So in that way, it cuts out all the gaps, so it keeps it rolling, and it gives you just a minute to reset and just think about the next line that you're going to say. So you make sure that you're making sure that you're where you're at with it. You're refreshing yourself every time. As well as that, obviously, it means if you mess a bit up, you can just go back and delete that rather than having to completely restart the whole video from scratch. To do that, you'd hold that, stop, press it again, and you just keep doing that, and it to the minute. So if I messed that bit up, press next, edit clips, again, reorder, and then just press that minus button just to delete that last clip. Done, and then I can go back, just press back and back again. You can start recording again. So once you've recorded the full minute video, the next step would be to add captions. So all you do for that is you press next, and then go in this little button here with it's like a post-it note with a smile on it. Press that, press captions, and that will automatically transcribe your audio into captions. So you've got the captions there now, which is obviously it's essential to have those, really, because a lot of people watch videos without sound, so you need to still be in that audience. obviously this will have your face, and it's the idea is to have your face quite centralized, or sorry, not centralized, but a bit more to the top, so you've got more space at the bottom for the captions. So move them down there, and then once you've done that, then add a title, which is just this text button there. Just press that, type the title in, and move right around at the top, so that'll be obviously at the top of your head. The captions have been below, like on your chest area, and you want to be just looking straight into the camera. And once you've done, that's your video done. So you then press this download button there to save that to your device, and that means that you can then obviously just cross-post that video on the other platform. But you'd also obviously post it on Instagram. So you press next, and you'd write your caption, and you'd add about 5 hashtags to that, and then you just copy and paste your caption and find where the video is recorded onto your phone, post that into TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, and you could also post it on LinkedIn as well. But yeah, that's just a high-level overview. But yeah, that's how to record the video. Thank you.
All right, so that's how to actually record it then. But is that how you do it, Jenny? Did you say you do it on Insta?
No, so I record. Sorry, I'm ruining everyone. I record it directly on my phone, and then I upload it to Instagram, and then I add my captions, and then I add my title.
Yeah.
But I do it on Instagram because like you say, the captions are so much better than anywhere else. So then once I've got my captions and I've got the title, I then download it back onto my phone to upload it to Facebook.
Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, that's 90% of it done, and the last bit is just about obviously posting your caption, and which is the bit below it, the actual bit of text. Which again, the way that I found best is to not summarize everything that's in the video, because the point is we want people to watch the video rather than just read the caption. So it's just to put a bit of a headline and a bit of a leading kind of headline as to what the video content is all about, rather than just giving the full context of the video away in the caption. And also adding hashtags, obviously, especially with Instagram, hashtags are really well. I'm the Reels on Facebook Reels. This is how the algorithms learn who to deliver it to, and including the caption. So the algorithms pick up in what is in the caption. So if you're pulling out your ideal client within the caption, then it's going to learn that. So pretty much every caption that I put, it's got either mortgage broker or financial services. So it's learning what my content is about. So it gets to learn who to deliver that content to. And again, you only get that by including 2 things. By 1, including what I've mentioned there in the captions, and 2, being consistent, because it'll only pick that stuff up, or if you are consistent. If you're just posting 1 a week or 1 a month, then it's never going to get to learn who it needs to deliver this content to. So yeah, hashtags and, like I say, caption, about 5 I think is the sweet spot in terms of your hash. Too many and it's going to lose. It's just going to be too convoluted, and the algorithm is not going to be able to learn from that if it's got too many, because it's just skewed in too many different directions. But yeah, any less, then I think you're just missing the opportunity, really. But yeah, 5 is generally the sweet spot, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much covered everything there. So the idea is, I think if you're going to give this a go, which I really push you towards doing, is post them in the group when you've done them. We can always obviously give you feedback. That's what we're here to do. And obviously we've got people like Jenny who's killing it with this stuff. So I'm sure Jenny will.
I don't know if I'm killing it, but I keep trying.
Yeah, no, I think you are. I think you don't.
Well, you're very good, Jenny.
Oh, bless you, David. Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, so like I say, that's what we're here. This is the point of this group. That's a community element where people will help you out and give you pointers, and obviously including us as coaches, but other people as well. What do you guys reckon? Do you think you'll give it a go, Andy and Dave?
Yeah.
I've
got to go now. Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot more tonight.
Yeah.
Using my phone and using Instagram and Facebook that I have for as long as I've had it. I've got an Instagram account and I never use it.
Yeah.
It's going to get reactivated again now.
Yeah.
The hardest bit is just doing the first couple of videos.
Yeah.
And honestly, and I still do it now, I joke about it, but nobody cares what the videos look like. But we really do. We really worry that it's got to be perfect and it's got to be. And if you think about how we consume, very rarely do we consume a video and then be like, oh, I need to go back to that video. You just consume it and it's used for that moment in time and then we move on. That's the same thing with your content, and all that the content's going to create is that association with mortgages and you. That's what you're trying to create, is that link between, oh, I know somebody who does mortgages. Wait a minute, let me find that. I'm following them on Instagram. And that's how they do it. So the video content is just to literally keep you at the top of their list of people who do that thing. And the more you get into it, and for a couple of people as well that we've had through the group, if you really struggle with it because you just feel uncomfortable, whatever it might look like, schedule some time in your day and have it down as a work task. Schedule some time in your day and have it as a work task.
Jenny doing it on the Sunday night and knocking them out.
Getting ahead of it, absolutely. Yeah.
Can I ask a question at the risk of sounding very naive about this kind of stuff? You mentioned hashtags. Tell me about hashtag. Hashtag is the key word that gets you around the system, or
it is, but you know what? Like the hash is like it's like a key word, but there's two sides of it. There is obviously the hashtags, but the algorithm also picks up on what you're posting in the caption as well as the hashtags. So it's good to include some. It's got to be relevant to the content that you're posting, but yeah, it's good to include those because that's how it really gets shared, because people follow these hashtags, especially in Instagram. Like a lot of people will follow, like if they're first-time buyers, for example, they might follow the first-time buyer hashtags. People that post posts that have got that hashtag, that'll come into their feeds like it would if they're a friend with somebody, but their posts come into their feed. But if they're following that hashtag like they would be following a person, they'd see those posts that are being posted into that hashtag. Not all of them, depending. Like I said, there's different size hashtags. Like there's some that have got millions and millions of posts going in there, so it's difficult. We could do a whole session on hashtags, but it's difficult to find the right kind of hashtags, but that are going to get you the most traction. But again, it's just about playing around with them and finding what's working and what's not, and testing different hashtags. But the point is, they've got to be relevant to the content that you post. Yeah. So, sorry, Darren, I didn't realize you were there, mate. I've just pulled you up on the thing. Where are you with? Did you say you posted something today on the chat?
Yeah, I did it exactly the same as what you've shown there, like with the Instagram, because you can just like you say, you just hold it down and stop it. Yeah. And then the next bit. So it's instead of having like gaps in like when people have got gaps, you tend to go, so it gets away from that. You just literally get your finger off, do it again, and then do the next time kind of thing. So I've been doing that, but then what I do is I save it and then I put it into an app called Captions, funny enough. And it does the same as Instagram captions. It just makes them look a bit fancier, and it also cuts out the pauses, cuts out them automatically. Unfortunately, it cuts out swear words as well. It doesn't really work for me, but
well, the Instagram does now as well. It like when you say shit, it'll
bleeps.
It puts loads of asterisks as well. It totally ruins it for me. But never mind.
When you're trying to get a point across, a fucking point across. But there is another one that I've used in the past is called Cap. It's called
CapCut. That's owned by TikTok, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's good. But like I say, that's a really beneficial thing. I think the fact that you can just stop and start and cut out. Because when I've done video stuff in the past, I've had to record it in one take, and then put it into an app to cut out those. They call it jump cuts, don't they?
And I've tried the opposite of doing that. So I've tried to record just off my phone, not in an app, just using the video, and recording multiple videos and then putting them all in one to like kind of stitch them together. And you know what? The Instagram method it's so much quicker. And when I think, to be fair, posting is a bit of a chore, if I'm honest. And I know that I have to do it, and I just think I can't be asked. So for me, the quickest way to do it is exactly that with the Instagram thing. But it takes you a couple of minutes. Download it. I put it in the captions. I upload it. Just done. Next 10 minutes now. Whereas I probably spend like an hour and a half before.
Yeah, pissing around.
Yeah. What I find as well, with all the people that have come through the new age stuff, all the people who have had, again, relative success to themselves, is they've they've always had something that's very authentic about them. So like Dave, for you, it's your accent. Straight away, and again, Darren, for you as well. Straight away, it's your accent. Already, I'm like, oh yeah, it's the Geordie lad, or it's the Scouse, or it's the guy from Brummie, or wherever it is. And that is just you, and you don't have to pretend to be anything else, or that can be your thing, and that's just who you are and what you do. And it's something that can just become the thing that you're known for, not intentionally, not trying to kick the arse out of it, but that's just the hook that goes, there's something about that's just, it's comforting, it's authentic. It's not somebody trying to be something they're not, which can come across on video so easily. And you've got to imagine, I call it your bullshit filter. For people on their phones, because of the apps and how they work, people's bullshit filter is really good. So if it's not resonating or there's anything that kicks in that says this is fake and not authentic, I'm already off it. I've gone to the next one. I've gone to the next video. I've gone to the next, whatever it might look like. So the more you can be you, the better. And like for Jenny, that was really difficult when you first started, because you like didn't think it was who you were. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jenny. But as soon as you sat with, I'm not going to try and be anything that I'm not. I'm just going to speak the way I am. I'm going to dress the way I am. I'm going to be here in the way. I'm just going to be me, 100% me. All of a sudden, it just went ding, because it's authentic, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just easier. I know everyone does all this fancy shit with Instagram, but I literally, all mine are recorded in one take. There's none of this start stop. I ain't got the mental capacity for that. And it's just because then that is just me, and I mess up words and it comes up on the captions that I put the wrong word.
Yeah.
And before I'd sit there and I'd change it all, and now I'm like, fuck it, that's me. I spelled something wrong the other day. I've discovered I can't spell secret or client. But that's okay, because when people messages me to say you spelled client wrong, yeah, but you're messaging me.
Or they commented on your post.
Yeah, thanks for that. And we get into a conversation, and so I probably need to be a bit better and tidier in some ways. But
and I think the kind of like happy medium for everyone, I include myself in this, is just do as much as you feel is enough. And as soon as you feel like it's starting to be a ball ache, stop there. So whether it is just checking it once, because you might have a person who's got to make sure it is perfect, but if it's the options are get it out or don't get it out, do what you need to do to get it out, okay? And then leave it. Literally just leave it, because it's gone, and then just go to the next one. And I mean it in a nice way. Don't make it into a big thing. Don't make it a big thing. It's just you posting a video. That's all it is.
I actually think that being controversial has it helps massively.
Yeah. If you try to please everybody, you speak to nobody.
I've discovered I did one video where I said something about along the lines of it's okay to rent a property out to a complete stranger, but not to family. And that's how I left it. It was just like that. People in the mortgage industry know everything behind that. But all I said is it's okay to rent a property out to a complete stranger, but you can't do it to family. What kind of bollocks is that about? And that's all I left it. And the amount of people that commented on it going, no, that's not right. And what I discovered is because people would comment on it, it just went nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
I thought,
that's the heaviest weighting in the algorithms.
I've just got to keep kicking something to get a reaction. That's the trick. Just kick something and just go, what do you think of that? And
that's what you're doing. You're poking the bear. You're poking the bear, and you're trying to provoke some sort of response. And if you try to please everybody, you will speak to nobody. If you just try and play it safe all the time, obviously there is a line, but just poke the bear.
I'm not sure there is a line, if I'm honest.
I want to be seen on this recording as saying that there is a line. You guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I think some people try to make the content. I find so. I actually somehow, I don't know how I evolved into this. The simpler the content, the more hits you get. It's when you try to make it really intelligent or really explain it to the 9th degree. People don't care about that. They want to know what an agreement in principle is. There's a
reason they're coming to you for that stuff. There's a reason. I don't need to know all that stuff. Just tell me, how am I going to do it? How much is it going to cost, and when am I going to get it done by? Just keep it nice and simple. That's all I want to know.
Bullshit baffles brains, isn't it?
Oh God, absolutely.
I actually seen somebody on TikTok who done this. Like it was like a video. It was like 5 things that really annoy mortgage advisors or something like that. And it went on, so it went through every single point. And I thought, I think you've missed the trick there, because I can make 5 videos now. So I took all of his 5 points and I just made a video on each one.
Yes.
So this is what Dan was saying earlier about seeing what's out there.
Reinvent.
Yeah, you don't need to reinvent it because we're never ever sharing any groundbreaking stuff, like never heard before. We're just finding a different way to deliver it, and it's been delivered to a different audience.
You can deliver the same thing as somebody else, but because it's a different accent or a different face, it resonates with different people. So it's 100%. Kind of relevant, really.
Yeah.
Or if you've got, say, a clearly defined ideal client, you just call out that ideal client first, and it's the same content, but it's going to a different audience. And yeah, it'll just get their attention. Sorry, Jenny, what you can say something?
I was just going to say, a lot of this, there's only so much stuff you can say that anyone's interested with. So you get to a point where you just say it in a different way and it's exactly the same content. But what I've started to do now is so in essence, you're basically looking, in my eyes, when you're doing a reel, you're looking at market, you're looking at credit file, you're looking at income. That's really the only 3 things that you will really, and what an actual mortgage is, you'll talk about. So now on my reels are set up that I'll do my top tip Tuesday, but my top tip Tuesday is actually my reel for Friday. On a Wednesday, I'll do an income booster. And then actually that's 2 days already sorted. I don't need to worry about it. And the other 3 days are just random shit that happened in the week.
You just repurposed content. It's just really smart use of stuff. And plus as well, and this is another thing that you do as well, because this is your field of expertise, you think everybody knows the stuff that you know. So you only tell the world once. And then you think that everyone watched it that one time and everybody knows that stuff you changed. But it's not. You may repeat those tips. You may repeat those advice.
Better people that will watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what if someone saw the same piece of advice twice? It just means that they know that you did that thing. So we can confuse ourselves by the fancy apps, the content, the captions, and all the stuff. Just keep it nice and simple. Listen and take on all the advice that everyone's done, but keep it nice and simple. And then just start getting it out. And then every time if you look, and again, we're using the example of Jenny, but if you look at the evolution of where Jenny's come from to where she is now, it's a completely different beast. So just bear that in mind when you're doing it, because if you turn into this big, huge, horrible monster, you're then not going to do it. And all of a sudden you've talked yourself out of doing it.
Because this is the perfect, because I used to do video content as regularly as I could, but again, it was about doing it the old way, which I used to set up a tripod. I used to make sure I had a shirt on and my hair was all slick and I was like really prepped for it. And it'd take me a while to do it. And then I'd have to, like I say, use the app to put out the jump cuts. And then I'd put a fancy header on it and put it through an app to put all the captions in it. And that process would probably take me a good 4 hours, but for one video. And you can't be consistent with that because it's just too much work. But now you've got this ability to just do it. Someone said, I think you said, Darren, it takes 10 minutes, literally. You can pump out within
I think
an
the
hour.
more effort you put in, I've noticed as well, it's like how you can put like cover photos on reels. And I've created like cover photos and used it for reels and stuff. And the ones I've spent more time on actually do nothing. You're better off just... I think you're better off just picking a bit out your video where you look like a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
Or people are going to look at it and go, what the hell's he doing there?
Because the more, again, with video generally, the more produced it looks, the more polished it looks, the less attention it'll get because people think that they see that and think, oh, I'm going to get sold to.
They're less authentic as well. Just want to know the person behind the stuff that's sharing this info with me.
I do think that, and I think that's really important there, Ross, because I think everyone goes on about being your authentic self, but actually, if you've got friends and people, if nothing else, you will attract those kind of people. So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to put on this front. All you're actually doing is saying, I'm here. Those people that are interested will come to me, whether I've got the most amazing video. Yeah,
absolutely that. And it's so hard. It's so hard when we try to be something we're not, because that then comes at a cost, whether it's time, energy, whatever it is. It'll either become too much of a pain to do it because you've got to be somebody that you're not. You'll mess something up, you'll get caught out, and all of a sudden it's just, I'll just be myself. And then it's just so easy to get your phone out and just record something.
But when you get them on a call, they're like, "You're not fucking who you said you were on that video."
Yeah, this is the thing. We end up having these calls, the Zoom calls or video calls, and they go, "Wait a minute, you're not the person that I saw on the thing. Yeah, but I've hooked you in now, and now I'm going to sell to you. It's just be you.
Can't carry a pretense for long.
Just
That's
be you."
So even when you get them on a call, the likelihood is you won't convert them because you're not who you said you were.
Because they're expecting somebody else.
Yeah,
you might as well just be you. Rough around the edges or whatever it is. Yeah,
it's easier, isn't it, to be you than anyone else?
Absolutely. Everyone else is taken.
Yeah. Anybody else got any questions or anything else they want to add?
No.
No.
But if you could just like all my stars now on my videos, that'd be really good.
Yeah.
Just star them. Dan, I see you've got stars now. I don't really understand it. Facebook told me I had to do it, so I've done it.
Yeah, I've not got any yet, and I don't expect to get any.
I make my wife do it, so does that count?
I don't know. Probably isn't it like a payment thing? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Money to it. I don't know.
89p it costs her every time.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that goes to you, doesn't it?
That goes to me. So.
But yeah, Dave and Andy, are you gonna knock some up then?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to have a look, and you can tell me what I've done wrong when I've done them.
Yeah.
Or what I need to add to them.
Yeah, Dave, honestly, get it recorded tonight or tomorrow and just stick it in the school chat. Share it with us. We'll have a look at it. And honestly, all we'll say is get it out. Honestly, just get it out. Just the sooner you get into that habit of getting out, the better.
Yeah.
And every time you do it, just becomes a little easier and a little easier. And then you'll have a moment where you're like, oh no, it was shit. And somebody said something. It's nah, just be consistent. Just be consistent. And once we get out of our own way and we stop listening to that story we've told ourselves about how shit and terrible it's going to be, you just get it out there. Honestly, and we just get on our own way. As easy as it is for us to say and just do it, literally, take some time. Don't worry too much about it. Give it the time that it deserves, and then get it into the group. Share it. We'll have a look at it. And honestly, we'll probably just tell you to stick it straight out. Honestly,
I'm going to add a picture of my face and put it on Jenny's one.
I actually did that the other day. There was a mortgage advisor's reel on Facebook, I think it was, and I nicked it. And when I say I nicked it, what I did is I took her video and I spliced me into it. And she actually loved it. She messaged me and said, I'm sat here laughing my head off because I just made it a comedy thing of her really straight-faced video. And I just put myself into it, just making stupid comments, and she loved it. Figured I may as well have a laugh with it.
Yeah, that's all about. You're going to have a crack as well, Andy, yeah?
I am, yes, definitely, yeah.
We'll expect posts in the group then, yeah, in the next week or so.
How the hell do I find the group? Because I'll be honest with you, I struggle to get on here tonight. The link doesn't seem to want to work on my machine. I don't know what's going on.
You've got an invite for the school group. Have you not accepted it? Or
can't get in. I keep getting a bad gateway.
What, on the school link or this Zoom link?
Oh, I struggle. I like to restart my machine twice.
Really? I'll message you after this and we'll get it straightened out, mate.
Yeah, cool.
All right, guys.
All right, everyone.
Awesome.
Cheers, thanks, Dan.
Yeah,
Cheers,
you're welcome.
guys.
Speak to you all soon.
Take it easy, guys.